Hello guys, welcome to my new video, and today is the last video of 2025. Thank you guys for all the support we got in this year. We started the channel in July, and now after around 6 months, around 5 months, I'm sorry, we're now on the 184 subscribers and with the time I'm recording this video, and this is just amazing. I hope we can reach 1,000 by the end of 2026. We're gonna have 5 videos weekly, so maybe we can reach, and a lot of live streams of covering all the special elections, all the primaries, and especially the 2026 midterm election. So today's video is about the Senate. We're going to do a new update, okay? The last update was in December the 9th, and today's December the 28th. So we're going to do a new update. We're going to do like, I don't know exactly, to be honest. When we start in 2026, we're going to have bi-week, 2 times per month update, so each 2 weeks. But now I'll just start with the safe blue states, which of course it's always the same thing. Maybe like this, or maybe also Colorado, New Mexico, and Illinois, because it's really hard. But now things are changing a little bit towards the Democrats. To be honest, we got a lot of polls, especially Atlas Intel poll, that said that the Democrats actually have a lead of more than 15 points in the congressional generic ballot, which is actually interesting. Okay, we got that poll a long time ago. I don't know, maybe a week ago or so, but it's actually interesting to check that. I don't know if that is gonna be true or not. Maybe not, because it's really hard, to be honest. But now I just selected here most of the states that I think are really safe states. Also Florida, to be honest. So right now we have Texas, Georgia, North Carolina, Ohio, Michigan, Iowa, and Maine up for grabs. This one, Maine, North Carolina, Texas, Iowa, Ohio are all of them safe. I'm sorry, not safe, but the Republican incumbents. Okay, North Carolina is retiring. That's why I think it will still go Democratic, because as you can see here, in 2020, which is the year that's corresponding to 2026 in terms of the Senate, Tom Tillis won by only 1.8. But Tom Cunningham was not one of the best candidates, to be honest. But in the gubernatorial race, we got what we have from Roy Cooper. There'll be probably the new senator from the state of North Carolina. Okay, he's running for senator, and he was one of the most popular governors in North Carolina in the history of the state. As you can see here, he won by 4.5 points, where Biden, of course, lost the state by around 2, and the senatorial candidate as well. So as you can see here, Wake County, very important, Mecklenburg County, the same thing, and Guilford, very important counties here around the Charlotte area and also Raleigh area, the Research Triangle. And I think Roy Cooper will probably win again, not by 4.5, I think. I don't know, depending on the Republican candidate. I don't think we do have that yet. I don't know if this is the newest poll since we have the other video from December the 9th. We do have some polls from Maine, I'll be back, and also Ohio. But as you can see here, we don't have new polls. But I will say that this will probably, in North Carolina, stay Democratic. I'm sorry, will go Democratic, because, I mean, Roy Cooper is such a good candidate, and you can say whatever you want, but probably he's going to win. And if you're a Republican, you need to be a little bit selective in terms of your candidate in order to be at least competitive. Otherwise, you're going to be blown out in that race. So we talk about Georgia. We do have not gubernatorial, senatorial. We do have I'm talking, of course, about Jon Ossoff, okay, the senatorial race there, that won against David Perdue, of course, in a very tough climb, and it goes also after all the January 6th, I think, if I'm mistaken, or this was in January 6th. I'm not so sure about that, but I know the Georgia races were in 2021, but okay, I'm not so sure about that. But Jon Ossoff won in the second round, the runoff, against all odds, because David Perdue won the first round, and that was impressive, at least in my opinion. And of course, for a Democrat to win, you need to run it up in the Atlanta area and also the subs around it, Augusta, Savannah, and Columbus. And then you need to do not being blown out in all the red counties like Kamala was. Otherwise, you're going to have a bad night, okay? And also try to do better and better in the Cobb County, Fayette County, and all of these suburbs around. And also Cherokee, trying to be below 65 in terms of the Republican side. That will actually help you, okay? But I think Jon Ossoff is as well one of the most popular senators in the country. I think he's probably going to do well, and probably is going to win again because of a very simple fact. Okay, John Ossoff was won by about 1 point in 2020. Okay, and now you have a more democratic environment. He's also very popular there. That's why I think the Democrats are going to win the state of Georgia again. Okay, and that I do also think we have a thesis basically meaning that Georgia is actually shifting towards the Democratic Party in the course of the last 2 years. I know it voted for Trump, but he voted for Biden. But I mean, Biden was a much better candidate than Kamala. That's why that change happened. But John Ossoff is a great candidate, and now we're not so sure about who's going to be the candidate in Georgia. So right now we do have here a poll. Okay, a new poll. By insider advantage that shows Collins ahead 5 points from Carter and Dooley in box, but which is interesting here right now is showing that Collins probably be ahead, but not in the first round. So we might have a runoff, and that will be interesting to watch if people are going to vote for Carter instead of Collins or the other way around. I'm not so sure about this primary yet because I'm not so much focused on this, but primaries will be very important, especially here in Georgia and also in Maine because of the Janet of the Mills campaign as well, because she's trying to win against Planner, okay, and that'll be interesting. But we don't know, okay. We really need to wait because it'll be very interesting, okay. Now we need to talk about Michigan as well. I don't know if you do have polls of Michigan, but we do have a primary, very important primary there, if I'm not mistaken. We do have the Democratic primary. As you can see here, right now, the polls have been saying that Stevens is actually ahead. We have 2 women and 1 man, Al Sayed. I think probably he's the mayor of Detroit. Oh, he was the mayor of Detroit. I'm not so sure about that. And the RCP average now right now shows a 2 points lead for Stevens. I'm not so sure if we do have a runoff in Michigan. I don't think we do. So that's actually whoever wins the first round is the winner and will be the Democratic nominee. But right now, it's a very competitive race between Stevens and McMurrow, and we still don't know about that. In terms of the senator from Rogers against Stevens, probably Rogers is going to win. We do have here very competitive polls. And when you go from Rogers against McMurrow, it's probably better for the Republicans. So right now, considering it's Stevens, I still think it will go Democratic because given the time we still have and the unpopularity, they're probably going to rise in the polls to the Republican side because they're the incumbent. And right now, you cannot blame the other party for your mistakes. And that happens with every party across every election. That'll be very, very interesting, okay? When you go to Maine, okay, Maine, very important as well. And I'm going to say Collins versus Mills. Collins versus Mills, of course, Collins wins. But if you go against Planner, Planner wins. Okay, Planner is a more progressive candidate. They're now more in a better movement, if you will, because Mondani won in New York. Also, the Seattle mayor is now a progressive, so you can see that they're in a better position, if you will. But I think the Democrats are going to pick up that, no matter the candidate, to be honest. But I still think it's going to be a very, very competitive race, probably like this caller, to be honest. But we'll see. And now we still have 3. So the Republicans just need 2 to get the majority. They need 1 of the 2, 2 out of the 3, which is probably one of what's reasonable. I think right now I will change my prediction, and I will say that the Republicans are going to win Ohio. Okay, I said multiple times, at least that Sherrod Brown's going to win, but we got a new poll, and that was interesting. We got a new poll. I'm sorry, all elections polls, Senate. And we got a new poll, and here you can see here, Husted is now ahead of Brown in this new poll from Emerson, which is the newest poll we have. And Brown Husted is now ahead by 1, as you can see here, in the RCP average. But we'll see about that. But it's going to be one of the most competitive races across the old battlegrounds in 2026. But this is very important news for the Republicans. Husted to be winning now against Brown in the Ohio senatorial race. But I still think this will go now Republican. Now we have Texas and Iowa. Texas really depends on the candidate, okay? As you can see here, Texas Democratic primary. Now Colin already is gone in the Democratic primary. And I don't know if you do have here Texas in the Republican primary. We have Cornyn and Paxton. Paxton is the worst candidate here in terms of winning the general, okay? And Cornyn, of course, is of course the incumbent and probably is the best candidate in terms of winning. I'm not saying in terms of policy, okay? That's up for you to decide. I'm just saying in terms of winning the election, okay? Which probably is what's most important, at least in terms of, but I still think it all will go Republican, okay? and now Republicans just got the majority, and I would still say that the Republicans are going to win Iowa, because come on, for the God's sake, it's Iowa, and they got one of the worst candidates in 2020, Johnny Ernst, but now they probably have a much better candidate, and I was also trending to the right, and that's why I think the Republicans are going to win a majority in the Senate in 2026. Right now, it says to me 51-49. I still think this can change. If probably the Republicans can pick up Michigan, probably stay with Maine, they'll make 53. In the best case possible, probably like this, but that's almost impossible, to be honest. And if we do have a great candidate in New Hampshire, probably like this, but that's very, very hard to imagine. And if the best case scenario for the Democrats will be to win Michigan, to win Ohio, and to win Texas, and then we'll get to a majority for the Democratic Party, okay? But without that, it's really, really hard to imagine anything towards the Democratic Party, to be honest. And this right now, it's my prediction. 51 for the Republicans, 49 for the Democrats. So guys, thank you for watching this video. This is the video. I hope you have liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. And I just want to wish you right now a very happy 2026. This is the last video of the year. Thank you for all the support. And let's go for 1,000 subscribers at the end of 2026. I'm going to be very happy if we do achieve that. Half of that, not so sure if I'm going to be happy, but I'm going to try my best. I hope you also try yours. And I just want to wish you a very happy 2026. Thank you.